What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel that complains about free mobile games being shit for some reason. Unlike my last two videos where I spoke unto ye the truth of free individual mobile games, this time I'm going to be having a bit of a natter about mobile gaming in general. The good, minimal, the bad, plentiful, and the totally nonsensical, close to infinite. Right, so I'm going to start by talking about the wasted potential about mobile gaming, of which there's actually loads. There's a large amount of room for developers to work with when creating new games these days. The graphical capabilities on smartphones are far better than in the past on handheld game platforms like the original Game Boy. It's also cheaper and easier to develop video games than it ever was in the past. The problem is that for the most part, video game developers have taken this creative freedom and shoved it deep up their arseholes, past their colons, past the brain and the skeleton, all the way into their stomachs, where it's apparently being completely dissolved by the acids present there. Don't lecture me on biology. I know what I'm talking about. That's how anatomy works. And this isn't the science channel, you fucking nerd. In the past, we had some great games on our handheld game consoles, such as Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and who could forget that other Nintendo game? The one where she takes her costume off at the end, and you can kind of see her titties. That one was sick. It's just lazy these days, though. You get cheap rip-offs of old classic, which wouldn't be that much of a problem if they could actually hold a candle to the originals. But they hold a candle like they've got no arms, Parkinson's disease, and they're underwater. You even get certain companies just re-releasing the same bloody game over and over again. Whole IO, Army IO, Tornado IO, and Big Big Ball are all just the same game. Same game mechanics, same map, similar graphics. They're not even trying. What mobile gaming really needs now is some innovation. So what we need to do is call Elon Musk. Elon, if you're listening, please do what you have to do. Mars can wait. This is way more important. I want to play some new fun games. But particularly with puzzle games, which require very little in the way of graphics, etc., it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to come up with something new. Not that there aren't any good puzzle games on the old mobile phone. In fact, I'm going to spend the next video talking about some of my favourite ones. The aspect of mobile gaming that we have to deal with at the moment, which I'd say is currently the worst, in fact, it gets on my tits more than annoying pricks get on guitars at potentially enjoyable parties, is basically just the advertising. I understand games have to generate revenue somehow. I'm not a retard, all evidence to the contrary. You either need to show ads or have buyable extras in the game. Ads are fine, they're understandable. However, where I draw issue is games shoving ads down your throat, past your skeleton, your brain and your colon and back out of your arsehole. My arsehole is delicate, precious, and must be looked after. Only I am allowed to manhandle it. Right, so when you spend more time watching ads than you do actually playing the game, it's not a game. It's a cheap way of generating ad revenue. I know several games that had close to reasonable levels of ads and then put in extra ones that pop up midway through a level, and it just completely takes you out of the game. And even worse than that, some ads ask you to download TikTok. I'm not a communist. I'm not doing it. I'd also like to touch briefly, JK, this won't be brief, I have a lot of complaining to do here, about the ads themselves. There are so many ads for games where you have to add 2 and 2 together or something, and the caption will be, only 1% of people can solve this. It's a total insult to the viewer's intelligence. Another classic ad is the one that gives you a quick clip of a game and then brings up what looks like a demo screen. You click on the demo screen to give it a go, and rather than enjoying a brief demo of a game to see if you like it, it'll take you straight to the App Store so you can download the game. As if we're all going to say, you totally got me, I'm on the download screen now. I may as well just download the bloody game that has interrupted my playing time and deceived me into coming here. The great mark of any buyer-seller relationship, deception. Let's move on to the worst ads of all now. The ads that lie to you. They show you a clip of the game that isn't actually playable content. Even my top game, Archero, is guilty of this. Have you ever seen the clip where you build walls to keep the zombies out and then you shoot them down? It doesn't exist. It's not in the game. Stop doing this. It's not hard. I actually thought that was my last point when it comes to ads, but something else came to mind. Emojis. Surrounding a video like 4 laugh-crying emojis, it doesn't improve the advert. You know why companies do this? To market to idiots. Idiots love emojis more than anything. The last negative I want to hit on is the in-game purchases. These are present across most electronic gaming platforms these days. I'm looking at you, EA. I've never had to throw a 20 down to get me out of a sticky situation in Kaplunk, though, and I don't want to be constantly badgered to do it on video games. Sometimes you'll have to pay like a couple of quid to get rid of ads or whatever, which is perfectly reasonable. Like I've said, they've got to make money somehow. But there are also ridiculous pay-to-win scenarios where you need to spend more money on the game to advance than you spend on a game that's actually worth playing, like Monopoly, the greatest game in the world. Right, so why have I bothered talking so much about mobile games when my opinion of them is clearly so negative? Do I just like to have a bit of a moan? Well, yeah, actually I do. But like I mentioned earlier, there's also a lot of potential in mobile games, especially among the independent creators. Some games have even recognised this potential, but they're few and far between. I'll be doing more video games on mobile games that are actually worth your time soon, but basically I'd like to see some more quality content made, and also I secretly hate PC gamers, so it'd be nice to see mobile gaming of all things take them down a peg. Leave a like, subscribe, message me, tell me what your favourite mobile games are, or the ones that you think are the worst. Hit the bell if you want to hear what my favourite puzzle games are in the next video, or if you just like hitting bells. Giggity. Bye-bye.